Hello YouTubers and welcome to the Inferno Project. This video is my... Ow! Rolo! This video is my top 5 story... Not top 5 story, that's a previous video. My top story for each Doctor. My top story for each Doctor videos. They've earned me the most views, which isn't really saying much, but they have done. And I thought I'd keep up with this sort of face cam and the dog, who is being annoying. So, without further ado, let's begin with my 5th favourite Doctor, John Hurt, or the War Doctor. Now, this is a bit of an unusual one. I mean, John Hurt only came to the franchise a couple of year or so ago. But the reason I like him so much, not only because Day of the Doctor was so good, but because it answered the biggest question in Doctor Who history since 2005. What happened to the Doctor during the Time War? And I just love that concept. Stephen Moffat, for that, I salute you. Which I don't say very often these days. But, yeah, but perhaps they should do a spin-off series of the War Doctor's time through the Time War. Because I think that'd be pretty cool. So, John Hurt, easily my 5th favourite, even though he did very little. So, moving on to my 4th favourite. This one was, again, I was flipping the 3rd and 4th ones around occasionally, and in the end this one didn't come 3rd, it came 4th, because this Doctor didn't actually connect with me as a child. I've only recently begun watching his stuff and all the classic stuff. So, 4th favourite, Tom Baker. That's the 4th Doctor. Tom Baker is really, really good. Sorry if the camera just shook and one of my dogs just walked into the table. Because they're stupid. The 4th Doctor's stories, such a good standard, so good. The companions I really like. Sarah Jane Smith, for example, is one of my all-time favourites, if not my favourite companion. Oh, it's so brilliant. I could do a video. I might do a video on my favourite companions. I really like Tom Baker's Doctor. I love the stories. Yes, it waned a little bit at the end, but he suddenly went out with a bang in Logopolis. So it was, wow, he was good. He was in the he was a golden age Doctor. I have a sort of system. 1970 to 1984, in my opinion, was the golden age for Doctor Who, until the Twin Dilemma came along. So, moving on to 3rd, and this one, as you might have guessed, is a Doctor I grew up with, David Tennant. I know a lot of people love David Tennant. I love him as well. I think he's a great Doctor. His stories are at such a high level. As I said in my top story for each Doctor, I couldn't pick up any runners-up, because I love so many of them. I love how it went. I mean, I love the companions, love Rose, love Martha, love John Sim as the Master. Wow! I've been looking back at some of the stuff and, so good. Love it so much. So John Sim, not John Sim, what am I on about? David Tennant. Always thinking about John Sim, no, I'm not. David Tennant, I think, was brilliant. Really? Want to come up here? Come on. There you go. Give me some views. David Tennant, I think, was brilliant. Oh, I think he was absolutely fantastic. So David Tennant, wow, he was really good. And a really great finish. The Return of the Time Lords. Wow, so good. Put that down there. And then, moving on to my 2nd favourite. Again, like my 3rd and 4th favourite, this 2nd and 1st were bouncing around. It was a really difficult choice, actually, but I've come to a good decision. 2nd favourite stands... Stop it! 2nd favourite stands at Christopher Eccleston. He was the actor who got me into the show. Love all his stories. Love what he did. Oh, so brilliant. Sorry, I'm in full Whovian mode. Absolutely fantastic structure. David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, absolutely brilliant. He left the show, I think, possibly a bit too soon, but as I said, perhaps that was a good thing. That was why his show was so... his season was so good. Russell T Davies was a great writer, and I think it's a crying shame that he's gone. But I look back at the stories and think, wow, the writing is so good, and that is probably the most important factor of any show. And so moving on to my favourite, which, yes, a lot of you guys will know the answer, Jon Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor. Now, this isn't because of all his stories I think are at a high standard. Some of his stories are. I mean, Inferno is my all-time favourite, The Sea Devils is amazing, but there are some stories that I've seen I just didn't like. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Time Monster, and Colony in Space is one of my all-time least favourites. It's incredibly boring. Yeah, don't get Colony in Space. But the reason I like him so much is because when his stories are good, they are amazing. And not just because of Jon Pertwee. You have the supporting cast, and I think they're possibly what makes Jon Pertwee's era so defined. You have the brilliant Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge-Stewart, played by the amazing Nicholas Courtney. Well, for starters, he's amazing. And then you have Sergeant Benton, played by John Levine. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I do apologise. Oh, one of my all-time favourites. And then, of course, you have Captain Yates, who actually undergoes a lot of character development, despite being introduced a year later. Mike Yates was brilliant. And then, of course, you have the companions. You have Joe Grant, you have Liz Shaw, Sarah Jane Smith in the later years, and then, of course, you have the great Roger Delgado as the Master. So much good stuff. Perhaps some of the stories aren't the best, but as a concept, his character is one of my favourites. So, guys, that was my top 5 Doctors. Thank you very much for watching the channel, watching this video. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you for my next video. If you like me, if you want me to have a few more dogs, they seem a bit distracted today, let me know, and I will see if I can get them in a few more videos. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.